What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Being Beautifully Honest channel and podcast. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please do go ahead and hit that subscribe button. And if you're listening to this on YouTube, then thank you so much for hitting that like button while you're at it. I really appreciate it that you are here. And let's get into this podversation. Now, the story for the past several weeks about Tiffany Haddish and Ariesspears, I've been listening to it. I've been watching it. I haven't made any statements about it. I have my feelings about, some of the situations. One, I never watched any of the videos that were being made available for people to see, to have people make their own conclusions based on what they saw about what was being alleged by the children who filed the lawsuit against Tiffany Haddish. And I believe Ariesspears settled the situation some years ago. So I believe, to be honest with you, the situation, they were more so focused on Tiffany Haddish, but also Ariesspears as well, because they knew, well, at least the mother of the children knew Tiffany Haddish. So when the lawsuit was initially filed, Spears was thinking of it as an extortion case. He previously said, listen, this is an extortion case. This is a shakedown. And I didn't need my lawyer to tell me this, to say this, but I'm going to act on her words. We won't be shaken down. And believe me, it's bothering me not to talk about the skit, because Andy and I have been talking about it, and there's some very valid things I feel like I have to say or want to say, but just can't at this time. I'm no coward. I'm not running from anything, and I'm not guilty of anything. It's the reason why I won't turn my mentions off on my Instagram. It's the reason why I'm not deleting any of my old posts. It's paining me to do so because I'm a fighter, not a runner. My character's being assassinated. Again, I want to address the skit especially, but I just can't. Now, that's what he stated regarding the lawsuit. And we all know there was also a lot of buzz around Ariesspears regarding some comments he made about Lizzo, and I'll talk about that in a separate conversation. But Tiffany Haddish, a lot of people had a lot of things to say about her, especially the fact that a lot of people felt like, well, the children, she knew the mother of the children, so by proxy, she knew the children as well. So why would she have these children performing skits that were suggestive? And how are you protecting these children? You're not protecting the children. How could you do something like that? So many different things are being said, right? Well, now the situation has been dismissed. The lawsuit has been dismissed with prejudice, which means that they can't bring this up again. They can't file another lawsuit in the future. So in my opinion, they haven't stated the details of the dismissal, but in my opinion, it sounds like they got what they were looking for, which was some money. Okay. And look, I'm not here to say that these children, young adults, I'm not here to say that they were not affected, because from what was being described by some people, I would not say that it's okay to have children performing skits that have some sexual undertones to them, especially when you're supposed to be talking about be careful who you leave your children with, and they're suggesting that Ariesspears was a pedo. Okay, so no, I am not saying that there was anything okay about that, but now that they've gotten what they wanted, they made a statement which just makes me question, was it ever really about anything other than just getting some money? Because of the actual statement that was made. Not saying that they were not affected, okay? So that's not what I'm saying. But if you read the statement that was made, in my opinion, it just was like, wow, all of this coming out. And of course, all of the other people who were coming out making their comments and statements about this situation and saying, oh, they should be in jail, they should get locked up, this is terrible, I saw the video, blah, 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 blah. And then it's like, to have them come out and make this statement, which was, My family and I have known Tiffany Haddish for many years. And we now know, this is the thing, and we now know that she would never harm me or my brother or help anyone else do anything that could harm us. We wish Tiffany the best and are glad that we can all put this behind us. What? What? That's what I'm saying. It's the statement that was made. And look, I'm not faulting these children for being involved in something that they may not have felt comfortable backing out of when they were told to do these suggestive scenes for this skit, because some people, everyone's different, especially children. Some children are not going to say, look, I don't feel comfortable doing this. I'm out. Call me a cab. I want to go home. And then there may be some children who would do that and some wouldn't. So I'm not faulting them for being involved in anything that they did. I'm not saying, oh, you did it willingly, you were okay with it back then, and now you want some money for it. That's not what I'm saying. But what I am saying is that the statement that has been said at this point, at the point of this lawsuit being dismissed, it's not a really good statement. I feel that if they said anything that was just pretty generic, just to say, we've come to a conclusion of this matter, and and this lawsuit is being dismissed, and just leave it at that, everyone could just assume what they want to assume at that point. But to come out and make a statement such as this, specifically saying, my family and I have known Tiffany Haddish for many years, and we now know that she would never harm me or my brother or help anyone else do anything that could harm us. We wish Tiffany the best. To us, I don't want to say to us, to me, it sounds like, yeah, you got what you wanted. You really just wanted this money, and you were going to go to the furthest extent that you could go to in order to get it, or else. And now you got it. To me, it actually does sound a little bit like extortion when you come out and make a statement such as this after the fact. So does ariesspears have a point? Look, I'm not on his side or Tiffany Haddish's side. I don't know these people. I don't have a dog in the fight on either side. I definitely would always be on the side of right. But with a statement like this coming out, I don't really know. It just makes you question a lot more now than previously, because to say we have known her for many years and we now know that she would never harm me or my brother or help anyone else to do anything that could harm us. To me, that sounds really sketchy. They probably should have just either not made a statement or had some sort of PR rep make a statement for them. And I'm hoping that this wasn't a statement that was concocted by a PR rep, because if it was, that person did a horrible job. I'm just being honest. I just saw this and I was like, wow. And Tiffany Haddish has since come forward to say that she's lost all of her comedy gigs that she had lined up since this story came out. And we all know how ariesspears has been quote unquote canceled. And I believe this situation did not help him, but I also believe that a lot of his stuff was really made bigger because of the things that he said about Lizzo on DJ Vlad's podcast. So anyway, I digress. What do you guys think about this? You can let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Thank you so much for liking and subscribing to the channel or subscribing to the podcast if you're listening on one of the podcast platforms. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. This is Beth, and until the next time, I'm just being beautifully honest.